what's up? This is TJ and thanks for joining me today. I'm just going to make a quick video. It's in regards to using the groove synthesis third wave with my Fractal FM9, and we're going to use it in a very unique way. We're creating a feedback loop between the groove synthesis third wave and the Fractal FM9. So rather than just putting the effects at the end of the chain, what we're going to be doing is, because the groove synthesis third wave allows a separate output other than it's just normal regular stereo output, it has a separate output. You can feed that into the Fractal FM9 or any other source, but we're going to use the FM9 today. And then you can feed it right back into an input that is in the third wave. And that actually channels it back through the synth as if it's another source, a source that's additional to the regular, 3 oscillators that are in that synth. Now, I know what you're thinking, especially all you Fractal guys out there who are tuning in. This guy, this nerd is doing some serious geeky synth shit. Yep, you're exactly right. But stay with me, because you might find it interesting and we're going to have some fun. So let's check it out. All right, so obviously you can use any effects that you want. I could have even ran it through my Euro rack that I have here behind me, but I wanted to use the Fractal FM9 because it has a couple powerful things associated with it that'll make it easier to demonstrate in the video. Okay, one of those things is the FM Edit software. Fractal guys know that it's an amazing piece of software. You can control the entire FM9 pedal with that, and I don't even have to touch it. I can control it right from the software, so we can show that to you in the monitor. And the other reason why I wanted to use it is because I can also control the routing, so I can demonstrate the dry sound of the effect, the affected sound after the full chain, as if it was just placed afterwards, and then I can demonstrate it in the loop. Now let me show you that here. Let's go to the FM9 Edit software right over here. All right, now what you're looking at here, this is with the loop off, and you're only hearing the synth. Okay, so this is just with a sine wave, simple sine wave. Right? Now if I go over here and I want to hear some effects in there, I'm going to put it at the end of the chain. So what you're seeing here is when it's looking at out 1, it's just the synth by itself without any loop. When I put the scene here, number 2, you'll see it's switching still with the output 1, so it's at the end of the chain. But I've added this pitch block here, and the pitch block has 2 different harmonies going on. It has an octave down and a fifth up, 7 semitones up, 12 semitones down, 7 semitones up. Say that 10 times fast, right? So that's what this is going to sound like. So that's as if it was at the end of the chain. Let's listen to it as if it was in the loop. All right, so I'm going to go to the third scene here on the FM9. All right, I select that. Now you'll see that it is changed here to output number 3 right here. Okay, and now it's been placed back into the loop, back through the third wave. So a slightly different sound. Now it's going through all the filters, it's going to be controlled through the envelopes, and it actually can be redone through the effects that are on the that are on the groove synthesis third wave. All right, you're with me so far. So here I'm going to do that one more time just to demonstrate. Scene number 1 on the FM9 is just the synth by itself. All right, scene number 2. It's the synth with that pitch block that's in FM9 at the end of the chain. Scene number 3, okay, is with the pitch block in the loop coming back through the third wave. All right, so I'm going to play some sound samples, and it's going to be consistent through that when you see it here on FM9 Edit. All right, let's try that out. All right, so this is my first sound example. Again, if we look at FM9 edit, we're on scene number 1, so all that you're hearing is just the synth itself. Right? And I've got a nice pad sound here going, right? A lovely pad sound. So let's try some effects with that. So I have 3 effects going here. I have a pitch block, okay, which has 2 detuned 5th up 7 semitones here. You'll see that. All right. I have a delay, a monophonic delay. All right. And lastly, I have a filter from the FM9. So this actually is allowing me to add some additional detuning up a 5th. Okay, it's allowing me to add a little bit of delay effects and adding an additional filter to the 3rd wave. All right, now this is just a sound as if those effects are at the end of the chain. Pretty cool, right? So let's put them into the loop, those effects. All right, so let's see if we hear a difference, right? All right, so this is an example. It's actually very, very subtle. Subtle difference between the two, but you can hear a little bit more of the filtering going through when it gets chained back through the 3rd wave. Again, let's hear the difference between just the output. Scene number 2. And now when they're back into the loop. So the major difference that you're hearing is the effects are now being swelled with the envelopes that are in the 3rd wave, whereas if they're at the end of the chain, you don't hear those swells as much. It is a subtle effect. Let's try the next example here to give you a little bit more of what's possible. All right, now in this example, I've actually added some onboard effects within the 3rd wave, and then they're going to be sent out to the FM9 and then be looped back. So you're going to get a loop of effects to create some really big sound. Check this out, right? This is the dry sound here. All right. This is just the FM9 effects that are going to the output. All right. Now here I've added some ring modulation. All right. Make it really dirty and grindy. All right. All right, now that in by itself doesn't sound that great, probably is a little bit too much, but when I put it into the effects loop back through the 3rd wave, you get something really cool here. So let's change that. All right, and this is what I've got here for that. So with that, you're just getting a hint of that ring modulation, and it's being run back through the filters within 3rd wave and through the rest of the synth. Here, let's hear that one again. Pretty cool. Again, let's listen to the dry synth. And when I say dry, it's dry by itself with the onboard effects, not affected by the FM9. With the FM9's ring modulation, this is where it gets really nasty. Okay, really nasty sound there. But when we put it back into the loop of the third wave, it gets a nice blend between those two. I really like that sound. All right, for my last example, I've got a nice, string sound going here, right? A lovely string sound, and that is the sound just with the third wave. There is some effects that are in there from the third wave. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I've got a flanger going on there. And then I also have some reverb. All right, so everything that you're hearing from there is going to go through the FM9, right? So let's hear what it would sound like if the FM9 was at the end of the chain. All right, and what I have here is again, a pitch block. So we have an octave up and an octave down with that. And I've added a filter, and this filter has a LFO set to it. You see it's going back and forth. That LFO is on the FM9. Awesome effect here on the FM9. And that's going to give me a nice pulsing effect, right? Pretty cool, but when you put it at the end of the chain, it almost sounds like it's too much, but it's great when you put it through the loop again through the synth itself. Right, so let's do that. That's my third scene here on the FM9. All right. All right, so you can just hear that pulse in there to give it a little bit of a push sound. That might sound really great with some electronic style music, particularly if you can get that pulse, which you can do in the FM9 clock synced with the rest of your music. Well, hey, that's it. The Groove Synthesis third wave with a feedback loop from the Fractal FM9. Gives you a lot of extra possibilities to use effects in a different way. So it gives you the ability to blend these sounds together and really give you some extra power of synthesis that is available to you. I want to take a few moments to thank Zero Crossing from the Gear Space Forum. He's the guy who prompted me to do this video. It is something I had in mind to do for a while, but he's the one who had asked me to do it. So I thought it was a great idea. I want to thank you for watching, and if you like the videos that I'm doing here, you got to subscribe, hit the bells, do all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it very much for your support. Check out tjontheroad.com as well. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.